Well, entrepreneurs always need venture capitalists. That's investors with the money and the know-how to help turn a bright idea into a profitable company. For the entrepreneur starting out, it can seem like the venture capitalist has all the power. One website is trying to change that. TheFunded.com is a social networking site for startup CEOs, a place where they can share stories and intelligence about how to deal with venture capital funds. Karen Nye spoke to its founder and asked why The Funded is needed.
The Funded allows CEOs and entrepreneurs to research, rate, and review venture funding sources worldwide. You wouldn't go out and buy a digital camera without doing your research, but before TheFunded.com, CEOs didn't have tools to understand their funding partners.
What was your objective in starting the site?
Raising capital today is a very difficult and time-consuming process, often taking as much as a year to close. Secondly, there's a large number of venture firms operating worldwide, about 3,700, and there's a huge variance in quality. You just don't know who's good and who's bad. Lastly, closing these deals involves very complex terms, things that the average person just doesn't understand. And I wanted to shed light on what those terms mean for a company over time when they go out and make these important decisions.
In terms of the venture capitalists, is there an idea at all of sort of getting even with people who behave badly over the years?
You have your good firms and your good venture partners, and your bad firms and your bad venture partners. So there are a lot of stories on The Funded about both, about the great things that venture investors do to help your business grow, digging in, showing up to meetings, helping you close deals. There are also a lot of stories about the bad side, where they may steal an idea that you bring in when you pitch them, or another common example is bad behavior, bad manners. So for example, imagine if you flew across country for a meeting with a particular individual and that individual just doesn't show up.
What kind of feedback have you had from people about the site, both from the entrepreneurs and from the venture capitalists?
Imagine if you have a lot of money and it's your job to award that to individuals. Most of the time you're getting pitched, and most of what you hear is incredibly positive. So now they're seeing criticism. So their initial reaction was quite negative, but the smart venture capitalists are saying, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to see honest feedback and improve my performance so that I can be a better venture capitalist.
There seems to be quite an international aspect to the business. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. About 50% of venture funds worldwide are invested in the U.S., and the remaining 50% are spread throughout the world fairly evenly. The total worldwide investment is $60 billion a year. So the big markets outside the U.S. are obviously Europe, believe it or not, Middle East and Africa, particularly because of Israel, and then Asia in that order.
Adair Rossi there on the good and the bad about venture capitalists. Well, before we go, a quick reminder of